Now, it has been the greatest and most thrilling World Cup finale ever. Argentina have won the FIFA World Cup 2022, beating France after an action-packed game down to penalties. Argentine fans across the world are ecstatic. And we have with us our sports editor Digvijay Singh Dio with all the game details and analysis. Digvijay, what an incredible match, down to the wire, both teams playing their hearts out, exactly what you would hope for at a FIFA World Cup final.
Yes, and who would have thought, that in sport, 45 minutes could do the trick, because for the first 45 minutes of this final, Alison, France were not in the game, but what a comeback from them in the last 10 minutes of regular time. Kylian Mbappe scoring twice. This game had more, twists and turns than a Formula One track. And as you rightly pointed out, Alison, the greatest World Cup final of all time. Nothing has ever come close. You go back to all the great finals that have happened over the past, nothing as nail-biting as this. But let's also give you the other headline. Lionel Messi has finally won a World Cup. Lionel Messi has taken his deserved place in the pantheon of greats alongside Pelé and Maradona. For the longest time, he'd won everything in that sport. All the individual trophies, all the team trophies, barring this World Cup. And the sheer emotions that we are seeing as that final penalty was scored by Montiel, absolutely sensational. Lionel Messi is a World Cup winner. There are some moments in sport, Alison, that you will always remember. You just go back to cricket 2011 World Cup, Sachin Tendulkar finally winning the World Cup in the 50-over format in his last ever World Cup. The other sort of emotional thing that comes back to me is perhaps Tiger Woods winning his 15th major after all those years. And for Lionel Messi, he's waited so long. We unfortunately can't cut to those pictures, but that is some massive celebration and a heroic performance from France. For the first 70 minutes, as I said, they were not in the game. They just simply didn't turn up. But just give them one sniff, and that's what a great champion team does. They sort of, came back into it thanks to Kylian Mbappe. It went into extra time, advantage Argentina with Messi scoring again. Another penalty for France, and 3-3 goes into a penalty shootout. The first two takers of those penalties, Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi. But then it was down to the support cast. And unfortunately, on the night, the French players couldn't exactly take their team over the line, and Brazil's record of being the only team to win back-to-back World Cups along with Italy in 34 and 38 still stands. Reactions coming in. We're now going to be joined by guests, most of them coming from South America. I'm told we are joined from Argentina by a guest as well. Mavio dos Anjos is joining us from Brazil. He's a football writer from Sao Paulo. Mavio, it must be hurting you wearing a Argentina shirt, a proud Brazilian like you, but you've always been an out-and-out football fanatic, first of all. First, just talk to us about the spectacle, what we've just seen.
I believe it's the biggest World Cup match we have seen in our lifetimes. It's really unbelievable. I can tell you about the World Cups before 1966, but this match, it's something unbelievable. It has been unpredictable, and it has all the emotion, all the joy, and also all the strategy. The tactics were also very interesting. We have to remember that I have never seen a football manager replacing two players at the 40 minutes of the first half. We had this. Nobody understood why Deschamps took out Giroud and Dembélé, but then we see he wanted more energy in his attack. We have seen Lionel Messi scoring twice, equalizing Jairzinho from Brazil as a player that has scored in all stages of a World Cup. We have seen the genius of Kylian Mbappe, who scored twice when we were expecting him not to do anything because of his first, at least his first hour in the match was totally blank.
Yes.
And we have seen a marvelous final of a World Cup. I'm really thrilled. I have supported Argentina.
Mavio, you're in Rio. I'm joined by somebody from Argentina as well. So let's hold on to those thoughts. I'll get both of you in this conversation. Yeah. And Peter Schouten is joining us from Argentina. He's the man at the center of what's happening. Peter, is the biggest party in Argentine history underway?
Yeah. The game is over, and look behind me, 10,000s of Argentinian people shouting, crying, celebrating. It's amazing, guys. You don't know. I hardly have any words to describe where we are, what the people are feeling after 36 years of waiting for the World Cup. They finally got it, and people are so happy. It's amazing.
You know, just seeing those pictures, Peter, you know, I remember when the great Diego Maradona died, all those fans assembling at that obelisk just behind you. Lionel Messi, this is all about him, isn't it? This is that elusive trophy that was missing from his cabinet, and perhaps today he will rightly take his place alongside Maradona as one of the two greatest Argentine footballers of all time.
That's all time. I think he stepped out of the shadow of Maradona right now after this World Cup. There was a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he could bear it. He did it. He did it for Argentina people. The country Argentina is in a very, very difficult and critical moment of its history. It's economically almost bankrupt. 50% of the people are living under the poverty line. So imagine what this will do for the country. It's amazing. And look at the people. This will take for days and days and days that they will celebrating this amazing World Cup.
I need to come back to you and ask you, how did you get that location? Because those scenes are once in a lifetime scenes, and for you actually have to look at us and talk to me. Well, you would actually be wanting to turn around the other way and just see what's going on, and perhaps join that impromptu party over there.
Yeah, but the party will last for days. So I'm happy to talk to you, to all the people in India. So don't worry about me. I will get my party afterwards, because as I said, tomorrow will be a national holiday. Imagine the president, Alberto Fernandez, is waiting for the squad to come back to Argentina. And it's, I think we only see tears from this moment on. The people are so happy.
Yes, you can take a pause and perhaps wipe a tear if you want to do that, because we also have Mavio dos Anjos joining us. So I'm going to go back and forth between both of you, because Mavio is a true Brazilian who loves the Brazilian football team, and he's covered the Brazilian football team extensively. But Mavio, you know, the South American passion for football, I think that's what we are seeing in Argentina, and we've seen that in Brazil as well. But this time, fittingly, Argentina becoming just the second team after Spain to win a World Cup after losing the opening match of a tournament.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? But I'm really glad for them, because I know how hard it has been the current times in Argentina, and I don't know a football nation which needed it so bad than them. Argentina, just like Brazil, Argentina is a nation which has taken much of its pride, of its national pride, from football, and to be able to win a World Cup after so many years. We have seen since 2006, we have seen only European teams winning the World Cup. I believe it's amazing to them. It's the greatest flavor in the world, being able to be champion after so much time without it.
Yes, let's go back to Peter. And Peter, just picking up on what Mavio was saying, that in Argentina, this means much more. You know, just explain to us what we are seeing on our screens, this absolutely mad party that's sort of kicked off in Buenos Aires. We are seeing the visuals where you are in Buenos Aires, perhaps all over Argentina. Everyone's on the roads, everyone's waving their flags, everyone's waving their T-shirts. Yeah. What does this mean for Argentina? Because for the longest time, till 1978, you know, when Mario Kempes took them to victory in that home World Cup, people never sort of took Argentina very seriously. They always sort of lived in the shadow of Brazil. But then they became this footballing powerhouse. Then came Diego Maradona. And ever since then, they've been waiting for this moment.
Yeah, it's not only 78. It was 86 was the last World Championship for Argentina. But this means everything to the country. as I said before, we are in an economic bad situation. The inflation this year, imagine, is 100%. People can't pay their bills. People can't pay their taxes. But what they can do is pay their tribute to the national team, to the Messi and the boys, to Scaloni, the national team leader. So this means everything for the country. And yes, we are out of the shadow of Brazil now, because we are fully in the sun as well. So literally, we are out of the shadow, and this will give an important economic boost as well, I think, for the Argentinian business life. So this is really, it's amazing, guys. I don't have any words anymore. Look at my skin. I'm trembling here. Like, I have no idea what's happening behind me. It's the most magical thing I've seen in my life. It's hard to describe.
I just can't imagine what you are going through. You spoke about having, sort of goose pimples. You're talking about Argentina stepping out of Brazil's shadow. I'll get Mavio to respond to that. Just take a breath. Just have a sip of water. I'll come back to you, because we've also joined by a very proud Argentinian footballing community over here in New Delhi. Siddhant Sibal, our principal diplomatic correspondent, is going to join us in a bit with reactions from the Argentinian embassy as well. Mavio, respond to that with Peter saying that the scenes that we are seeing, that this is the sort of Argentina have stepped out of Brazil's shadow, and would you dispute that at the moment, or history only remembers the winners, and the fact remains that Argentina today are worthy champions. They've outlasted France. I think that's the right way to say it.
Honestly, I don't think they're thinking about Brazil at the moment. Really, I don't think the majority of the Argentinians are thinking about the shadow of Brazil or anything. They're thinking of themselves. They're thinking about all they have won and have lost these years. The last year since 1986. The Maradona, the idol that they have lost. I believe they have been thinking also. You have to remember, Dick Vijay, that in 2016 there was a Copa America Centenario in the US, and after losing the final to Chile, Messi wanted to take a break from their national team. Imagine this World Cup without Messi. So we are seeing now, what we see now is also, it's like a Hollywood movie coming to an end, with all that joy involved and everything. It's like the story has come to its rightful end. So I really believe that they're too happy to think about a Brazilian shadow, Brazilian rivalry. I don't think about it when I think about Argentina right now. I wanted them to be happy, and I'm glad that they are experienced it.
Yes, right now it's all about Argentina. It's about Lionel Messi. It's about his teammates, because for the longest time, Lionel Messi was that sort of question mark over him. What has he done in an Argentinian shirt? He took them to the finals of the 2014 World Cup, but at that time, his performance in the knockouts was questioned, didn't score a single goal. No one can say that this World Cup did not belong to Lionel Messi. Let's going back to those scenes from Buenos Aires, and I hope our friend has sort of got his breath back. He's sort of enjoying the moment and can finally sort of get back to us. The shadow of Maradona, perhaps, Peter, because even Messi said during the course of this World Cup that Diego is looking down on us. He's willing us on. This is also after what happened 2 years ago. These crowds that we are seeing right now, we saw those crowds when the great Diego Maradona passed away. And this is perhaps a sort of a fitting tribute to the man who I was once told by the High Commissioner of Argentina in India that in Argentina he was considered the most humane of the gods because he had his flaws, but they still loved him nevertheless.
Yeah, that's definitely right. And don't forget, we also have the Pope, the Pope in Rome. He's an Argentinian. We have Diego up over there. We have Messi in the field. Yes, he finally stepped out of the shadow of Maradona. I'm sure of that. He felt that pressure on his shoulders to finally get that World Cup. And of course he felt that pressure of Diego watching him from above. I'm sure that he felt that. And yeah, he finally did it for the Argentinian people. And this is also a tribute to Diego Armando Maradona, that's for sure.
And just talking about Messi, because, you know, this is his greatest moment as a footballer. You know, you can win Champions Leagues, you can win as many FIFA Ballon d'Ors, you can win everything that is there to be won, the La Liga, you know, all the other awards. But the Football World Cup is the most coveted piece of silverware in world sport. How have Argentinians sort of embraced Messi, especially over the last 3 or 4 years? You know, as Mavio was mentioning, he sort of retired, then they lost that Copa final a couple of years back. He was sent off there for the first time in his career. And then they sort of got that monkey sort of off their back when they won the Copa America against Brazil last year at the Maracanã, the sentimental home of Brazilian football. And that was perhaps the turning point. That's probably when they sort of started to believe that they finally have this team which can sort of enhance the role of Messi. It's not just about give the ball to Messi and let him do the magic. It was probably about having this team which will enhance Messi's capabilities to win this World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. Last year, the South American Cup was definitely a tipping point. From that moment, you hardly did see any Maradona shirts in the street, but it was all Messi, Messi, Messi. So the people changed the names on their bags and they put Messi instead of Maradona. So this is finally, they embraced Messi. It took a time, well, because it was waiting for the time that he was winning this prize. He won the Olympic gold in Beijing, the World Cup under 20 years. But as we like soccer, we know that these prizes are not really that important. Last year, as you said, was a tipping point. And then when they won over Brazil in the Maracanã Stadium, was a party like this. Not like this, but comes to that. And then finally now, it's the World Cup. Comes back after 36 years to Argentina, Buenos Aires.
Yes, I can still see some blank spots behind you, but I think in the next 20-30 minutes, once sort of the trophy lift happens, everybody's sort of going to assemble there. It's going to be a big party. Hang on to those thoughts, Mavio. Hang on to those thoughts, Peter, as well, because Siddhant Sibal, our chief diplomatic correspondent, has some very special guests with him. He was watching the game at the Argentinian embassy, and our guests were there saying that, you know, there was the great Diego Maradona looking up from above. The Pope, Siddhant, is Argentinian, and you also have the greatest player in the world in Lionel Messi. So everything aligning, all the stars aligning at one single point.
Well, yes, Digvijay, well, there were celebrations at the French embassy, and there was an event hosted by the Argentinian mission, and of course celebrations are taking place even as we speak. We are joined by some diplomats from the Argentinian mission who are here. Ma'am, your first reaction to this victory, how do you plan to celebrate it? I know the celebrations are already taking place around us, but do you plan to celebrate it tomorrow as well? And your first reaction as well to the victory?
No, I didn't plan actually to celebrate because it's like I think we all knew that this was a tough game. So you never plan in advance. Like you just wait to things to happen, and now it's like such a relief. We won the World Cup, so we'll see. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to celebrate, but it's so big happiness feeling now.
It was 3-3, and at one point it looked like it could be really, really tough. Your reaction to that moment when it looked like it could be really, really scary going through the match?
Indeed it was, but hopefully the team could take out the best, and they brought the cup back home. I still can't believe it. It's hard to believe, but we are very happy. We are very happy.
And the ambassador was also present here, and of course he is still celebrating your country's win.
Yes, in fact he had the idea of organizing this event with the Indian people and sharing this very special occasion with all of you. And of course, personally I want to thank to all the Indian people that have been supporting us from Kerala to West Bengal to all over the country. Thank you very much to all the people of India.
So a lot of gratitude by the Argentinian diplomats, but we'll take you to a place where there are more fans celebrating, and I can just show you the visuals of the kids singing. Can you, ma'am, can you So of course the fans are still celebrating, but speaking to other media personnel who are present here, but clearly this is something that the Argentinian mission was looking forward to. In fact, the Minister of State in the External Affairs, Meenakshi Lekhi, was also present when, of course, the match was taking place. Back to you in the studio.
You know, Siddhant, we need to ask you, if you were a betting person, we need to ask you if you put some money on Argentina, because you've picked the right place to be this evening. You know, you didn't go to the French embassy, you went to the Argentinian one, but enjoy the celebrations. Let's go back to Peter. Peter, have the crowds increased? What's happening over there?
What's happening over there? Every second there are like, it seems like thousands of people are joining the group. It's amazing what you see from here. I don't know if you can see it right. We are at the 9 de Julio, the 9th of July. It's the biggest, most wide street in the world. So imagine how many people here can gather together. They expect maybe 1 million, maybe 2 million people. We don't know yet. People are coming from all Buenos Aires, which is a big city, are all now coming. There's no public transport anymore. It's crazy like it's going now here. And I think in half an hour, it's only blue and white what you will see from above. Look,
you're also in blue and white, and you're also in blue and white. And why do I get the impression that the moment I wrap this up, you're going to be heading down there into that crowd, and you're going to have a long afternoon and evening, and your deadlines are going to be missed?
No, I won't miss my deadlines. No. After this, I'm start writing for the Dutch newspaper. So. And after that, let's have a beer and enjoy this Argentinian success.
Okay, I'll quickly let you go, but I just want to ask you, what are the kind of celebrations that you're expecting once the team lands back? There is obviously going to be a parade. That's the new thing in football. You know, we see it across in Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, these great parades when they win the Champions League. But we're just seeing these crowds. What will the government, as you said, this means much more because of what's going on in Argentina. What are you hearing? What kind of celebrations or felicitations would happen once the team lands back?
The idea is that the team will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. local time, landing on Ezeiza, the international airport here in Buenos Aires. It's like 40 kilometers from here. So they will probably escorted by a lot of police and by a lot of fans. They will go to the airport and cheer at them, shout at them, and celebrate this World Cup together. So I'm expecting thousands of people going to the airport, accompanying them to the city. They will be hosted, I think, by the President, Alberto Fernandez. And after that, hopefully, they will show the World Cup from Casa Rosada, the presidential palace, on Plaza de Mayo, the main square in town. And what then will happen, I will show you later, because we don't know yet, but it will be crazy.
Yes, we have your details, and we're going to get back to you when that happens. So right now, I won't stop you. You need to be down there. You need to sort of feel that moment, because, hey, how often does a country win a World Cup, and you happen to be there, right there. So thank you, Peter, for joining us and giving us these great shots from Buenos Aires and that obelisk behind. Mavio dos Anjos is still with us. Mavio dos Anjos is still with us. He's in Sao Paulo. He is, I don't know how he's going to pull this one off of wearing an Argentina shirt. But Mavio, we've spoken about Argentina, but a word for France as well, you know, because we met Didier Deschamps in 2019 in Monaco during the Laureus Awards, and he sort of won the award for the Team of the Year. He accepted that award on behalf of the French team that time, and we in fact spoke to him. You reminded him of the pain of 1998. And this was a very similar 1998 performance, what happened to Brazil in the first 70 minutes, but then give them one snip of a chance, and that tournament beast that France have been in the last 5 or 6 years, that beast woke up.
Oh, you have to remember that this is a different World Cup. You have 5 substitutions to make. You can really change the mood of a team. You can really boost and encourage your team with some interferences that you can do in a team. He made a very hard bet by taking Giroud and Dembele out, but he really managed to have Kylian Mbappe more at the center of his attack, and it worked, because he had 2 opportunities. One brilliant goal, then the penalties, and it worked. It paid. It paid off.
Mavio, sorry to interrupt. Just something came to my mind while you were speaking, because all through the build-up to this game, it was about Messi versus Mbappe, the king versus the heir apparent. And to be fair, I don't think any of these two, you can fault any of these two players. They gave it their all. Messi getting the first goal, Messi getting that goal in extra time, Mbappe getting a hat-trick. I think the first player after Sir Geoff Hurst in 1966 to score a hat-trick in a World Cup final. We've also seen the sort of the formal coronation of Kylian Mbappe as the next superstar, the next king of world football, despite this defeat.
Yes, prior to that game, to this game, I was thinking that maybe Antoine Griezmann was the best player in France in this World Cup, because we haven't really seen Kylian Mbappe in the last two matches. But in this match, it was a full showcase of talent from him and from Messi. We had it all. We had everything. We have intelligence. We have dribbling. We had scoring. What more can you ask from these two talents? And that's it. He's the heir apparent. He has been. Remember me? What's his age? He's 24, I believe. Hello?
Yes, 24, Mavio. He's 24.
He's 24. Yeah, and he's got 2 World Cups. He's got all his career to beat all the records, the goal scoring records in World Cup, and it's only the beginning. So he assures his legacy as the brightest players of his generation, and we're happy to see that.
Mavio, what happens to the debate Messi Ronaldo? Is that over now? It's over.
Messi Ronaldo.
Yes, that's over, right?
Yes, I believe it's over. Yeah, I believe it's over. And in a very down way, in a very melancholic way, to Cristiano Ronaldo, that with his. It was a very bad World Cup for him, his presence being disputed by the fans in Portugal. I believe that Messi ends his career in the World Cups in a, way better tune.
Yes, on that note, Mavio dos Anjos, thank you for joining us. It was billed as Lionel Messi's last dance, but we can tell you, just seeing those pictures from Buenos Aires, from the rest of Argentina, that this dance isn't ending anytime soon. This party has just kicked off all across Argentina, and Argentinian diaspora all across the world are celebrating. We've witnessed one of the greatest matches of all time. Without a doubt, the greatest World Cup final of all time. 2 superstars, Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi, delivering, fighting to the last breath for their countries. But at the end, it's Lionel Messi and Argentina who are the world champions. Special broadcast ends here. News and updates will continue on WION World is One.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.